Hey BBWs, we're so excited to announce our first sponsor, Burn the Patriarchy Candles. Burn the Patriarchy's candles are handmade soy candles with a feminist agenda.
They are made in small batches, so they will sell out. The new fall line just dropped, featuring 3 delightfully spooky scents.
You can buy these sweet little babies at www.burnthepatriarchycandleco.com. At checkout, enter the promo code BLOCKBUSTER to receive 10% off.
Again, that's www.burnthepatriarchycandleco.com, promo code BLOCKBUSTER. Thank you.
Bye.
Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play.
So,
hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Eyes.
Welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store.
Mwahaha.
I'm your ghost with the most late V's, Shea Baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds.
And you're listening to
Blockbuster Wives. Halloween edition. Thunder crashes. Big old explosions.
Some confetti flies down. It's a work in progress.
Hell yes.
How are you, my loves? We missed you. We love you. Welcome to our second rendition of Hollow Wives.
Which we love so much. We already talked about it. You're listening. You're cool. You probably love Halloween too.
You get it.
What's
You're
not
like
to
with
love?
you're with it, right?
You should be.
Yeah. I almost just said your nipples are pink, right? But no one would understand that, right?
That is a deep cut.
Don't worry about it. If your nipples aren't pink, that's chill. Mine aren't either, so.
Well, this will be my first time recording while on roids, everybody.
Yo, Stacy's roided the fuck up.
I'm roided out right now. I am on 50 mil of prednisone, and I'm ready to get reckless.
She's ready to get reckless.
No, but for real, I do feel like kind of like amped up.
You do?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a lot of steroids.
Yeah, that's a lot of Well, I've only had steroids injected into my neck and back before. So I don't know anything about like your roids.
Yeah, like a low dose is like 5 grams.
And
I'm on
yours-
fucking 50.
Holy fucking
Bro.
ass.
So, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking go.
It is giving me a lot more energy, and I'm like not sleepy at night. And it's like letting me see how the other side lives. Because like I'm a bitch and go to bed at like 8, 9 p.m. easy.
Yes.
But last night I was like, it's 11 and my eyes don't want to close.
And that's bad, you guys, because Stacy loves her sleep.
I do. It's the best.
And you have to get up early.
Yeah, but I think because I'm like roided out, I'm not tired.
So
I'm
when you
like,
wake up, you're like...
yeah, I feel like I have so much energy. I can see why people get addicted to this. I'm just taking it because I'm like having a weird skin freak out.
It doesn't look great.
No.
It makes me really sad. I feel very bad for Stacy.
My skin is betraying me at the moment, but hopefully this will simmer it all down.
Well, you do look very like Halloween-y though, I will say. Very
Covered in skin lesions.
Yeah,
I'm
a little
jammy.
spooky. You can't really tell, like, you know, if I just like saw you on the street and you're like, what's up? I would not be able to tell. They're like in very
Random places
where like you can't see them.
But then I also have this giant bruise from donating blood, so a lot is happening.
Her skin is literally betraying her this week for some fucking reason.
Maybe
I don't
I'll turn
understand
into
why.
like a werewolf at this point.
Yes.
I mean, it's like step 1, giant bruise. Step
Are your
2,
palms itchy?
skin issues. Step 3, fur everywhere.
Step 4, chases
World
ducks around
domination.
the neighborhood. I don't know what that means, but anyways.
There is a werewolf scene in another Halloween movie we will not be covering, Hubie Halloween.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's a new Adam Sandler flick. Brent and I watched it and we considered turning it off 20 minutes in because it was really bad. But then for some reason we stuck through it and now we genuinely love it.
I
It was
need to
such
see
a
it.
roller coaster ride.
I just feel like most Sandler movies are like that, where you're like, well, I like this, and then you become in love with it. Somehow.
Yeah, it's really bad in the beginning. Like when you're like, this is unwatchable. Because you don't know what's going on with Hubie. You're like, is Hubie stupid? Is he like intellectually challenged?
Right.
Like, what's going on with this guy? But then you realize at a certain point it doesn't matter. It's just Adam Sandler.
yeah, it's just Adam Sandler, baby. Just the way the cookie crumbles. You feel me?
So if you want a modern Halloween movie, I think that's on Netflix. Check it out. See how far you can make it. And maybe you'll end up loving it too.
Have you walked out of a lot of movies?
No.
Me neither. The only one I've ever walked out of is Juniper Rising.
What is that?
It's Juniper, or not Juniper, what? It's Jupiter Ascending, or...
Juniper Rising. We are drinking gin right now, so
like
Shay's got gin on the brain.
I'm Juniper Rising right now. No, it's,
if you know what I mean.
It's Jupiter... I don't know. It's some shit. It's bad, and it's starring Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis, who two actors that I love very much. I don't even remember what it's about, but I walked out like 3/4 of the way in, and that's how bad it is.
That's a big investment. You couldn't bring yourself to finish it?
I wanted to. I kept wanting to leave, and I was like, no, like let's just. And then I was like, this is on. Like I am not enjoying myself at.
And you paid to see this in a theater.
Yeah.
And you were like, no more?
It might have been in like, I think it was in like 2015, maybe 2016. It was, or maybe, well, it was somewhere between 2014 and 2016 because I saw it with my ex while we were together. And yeah, it was bad.
I love bad movies though, so I might have really enjoyed it.
But I love bad movies too.
The only movie I turned off, like I would not finish, is Geely with Ben Affleck and fucking Jennifer Lopez. It was like panned for being a flop, and it was bad in a way that it wasn't entertaining. It was just bad.
Geely?
Geely. It's like Gigli. It was a big deal when it came out because it was like their first on-screen like love romance movie.
Who is it? Jennifer Lopez and
Ben Affleck.
Oh,
at the height of Bennifer.
Right.
And it was really like, it wasn't even interesting bad. It was just like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt about that movie. It was
and that movie
good.
felt like it was making fun of intellectually disabled people.
Really?
Like Ben Affleck, I think, it's such a fuzzy memory, but I think he like visits his brother who is in a special care home because of his intellectual deficits.
Yeah.
And it was like Ben Affleck was making fun of him, or like somebody was making fun of him, and I was like, I don't want to watch this shit.
Ew.
This isn't funny.
Did you watch it in theaters?
No, I just watched it at home. I've never walked out of a theater movie, I don't think.
That was the only one I've ever walked out of in theaters, and I've definitely stopped myself from watching a bunch of movies. Like that one that David Spade movie that you were like, I love it, and I was like, I fucking hate it.
Oh, The Wrong Missy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I don't know what it was that the main character just...
I love her. She's so funny.
I don't know what it was. There was something about it that rubbed me the wrong way, which is weird because usually I love like super goofy women, obviously.
And lots of physical comedy.
Yeah,
she was like
and
the most
usually I love that
physical
too.
comedian I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and usually I love that too. I don't know what it was. There was, some people just annoy you and you don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
It was that for me.
But that's kind of the plot of the movie, is like she's really annoying, but then he loves her anyway.
I know, but I didn't love her anyway.
You're like, I'm not falling in love with her. Meanwhile, I was like, I think she's fun.
And that's the thing too, is like usually I'm on the side of like, but she's cool and fun. But I don't know. She just annoyed me. I don't know. And not in a way where I was like, she annoyed me, but it's cute. It's like, no, she just straight up annoyed me.
Like, and I need to stop watching her.
Yeah, but to each their own. Obviously, no hate on anyone. My wife loves it, so there you go. Must be good.
And you know what also we love?
What do we love?
Is the movie we're going to be talking about tonight.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we took a little bit of a detour, but we're back. And it is the ever classic, super early 90s Halloween essential of our lives, Hocus fucking Pocus, baby.
Hocus Pocus. When do you think this became like the classic it was? Because I'll talk a little bit about this in corporate bullshit.
Okay.
It certainly was not an instant success.
I think probably in the 2000s, probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, I imagine that when we were kids, because when it came out it was what, like 93 or something 93? Like that? I think, and we were 2. But I think by the time we were kids and we could fully understand the grasp of what was going on, it was playing regularly on Disney Channel. It was like considered not a DCOM necessarily, but it played like a DCOM. And I think at that point it became classic because not only is it like kind of creepy, but it's also very kid friendly. But you feel a little bit like scared watching because it's a little bit like, ooh. And I think that's probably when it became a classic to our generation.
And I think for women especially, there's just so many women in it.
Yes.
Like 3 witches starring in it. The main character is always flanked by 2 bitches. Like, it's a very female heavy movie.
I think it's almost like a female Three Stooges. That's what it felt like to me in a lot of ways. And it was so physically comedic, like we were talking about earlier, and just so funny. And there's not much romance, really. Like, there's a little bit, but not much. It's more about, like, family than anything. So, yeah, love to see it.
Yes, so I'll get into corporate bullshit.
Let's do it, baby.
Okay, and then I'll do a little summary.
Perfect.
So Hocus Pocus came out in July of 1993. July. Why?
Fucking July?
July.
What the hell?
And okay, I remember reading this somewhere, but I could not find it to verify today. So, I mean, at me if I'm wrong. Let me know. Send us some mail at blockbusterwives@gmail.com.
Hell yeah.
But I always remember reading that this was supposed to be a DCOM, a Disney Channel original movie released to the channel. But then they spent so much money on it and they thought it was going to be such a hit that then they decided to have a theatrical release. And I wonder if maybe that decision resulted in it coming out at a weird time.
Probably. But why July, though? That's like, maybe, I feel like a lot of their blockbusters they release during the summer, which I understand.
But to me, like, it's such a Halloween movie.
It's completely a Halloween movie.
Like, the central plot is about a curse that occurs on Halloween.
Yep.
It happens on Halloween.
Yep.
It's set in Salem, Massachusetts.
for
There's
God's
pumpkins
sakes.
everywhere. Everyone's dressed up. The Halloween parties left and right. Like,
Right.
July?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That was a really bad call. And that's probably why it didn't do well in theaters,
think
because
so.
no one wants to see a Halloween movie in July.
Yeah, like, I can't imagine, like, in July, a Halloween movie being hawked. Like, what?
No, that was a bad decision. I don't
Yeah.
know who made that fucking
Super
decision.
weird.
But
And
that was
I have to think it was related to the fact that they, like, last minute decided to release it in theaters, but that's what it is.
damn, that's
It's
fucked.
directed by Kenny Ortega.
Hell
What-
yeah.
I didn't look up what else he directed, but you look like you got something to say.
High School Musical, baby.
Really?
Yes. So he's
Which was a DCOM.
which was a DCOM. So he was deeply, like, heavily into DCOM Central, super Disney director, but also, like, you know, classics of our fucking time. Super classics. And yeah, no, that's all I know, though. That's all I
Okay.
know that he's directed.
And then the starring the three Sanderson sisters, who are played by Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, I think is how you say her name.
God, yes.
Omri Katz, which is a very unique and cool name, played the one dude in the movie, Max,
Max,
basically. This part was offered to Leonardo DiCaprio, but he turned it down to film What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which I saw way too young, and I remember being like, this might be the saddest movie I've ever seen in my
It's
life.
really fucking
And I
sad.
never want to watch it again, and I haven't.
You shouldn't. It
It
really
just seems awful from beginning to end.
It's really, I mean, the acting is, like, fucking superb, but it's very, very horrifyingly sad.
As a kid, I was just like, I don't think I fully understand what's going on, but I feel depressed as fuck.
And knowing how sensitive you are to movies, it would haunt you probably.
Yeah,
It's
I just
so
remember like
sad.
never ever gonna watch.
Like
that
I Am
again.
Sam. I Am Sam's a movie I cannot watch
I won't even
because
watch it.
it is
Knowing what it's about, I'm
horrifyingly
like,
sad.
no thanks.
It is so sad. It makes me, like, depressed for the rest of my. Actually, that's probably why I'm depressed now. Ha!
God
It's I
damn
Am
it.
Sam. I knew it. No, it's fucking sad. But anyway,
The rest of the cast is Thora Birch as Danny. She also infamously went on to be in American Beauty as
She
the
kills
young girl, creepy love interest thing.
yep.
And then you have Vanessa Shaw, who spells her name Vinessa, which is interesting, as Allison. Oh, Allison.
Ooh, Allison, kiss me, I'm Allison.
Which is a weird scene we could talk about.
It's very fucking.
It is 96 minutes long. Perfect.
Wow, of
We
course
love it.
is. Of course, it's in the 90-minute range. You guys know, if you haven't heard, and this is your first time listening, Stacy and I have concluded that 90 minutes is the perfect movie time. So anything in the 90 to 100 minute range is perfect to us.
Or even 85 to
Even,
125. Keep
Even
it short and
85 yeah,
simple.
just anything around 90 minutes is gorge.
And then it boxed 45 million.
How much did it cost?
Oh, so budget was 28 million.
Okay.
And box office was 45 million.
See,
I do think that's over the course of the lifetime, because when it first came out, it was considered a flop.
yeah,
So this 45 million must represent like the DVD sales.
which is wild to think about. They should have made so much more money since it's such a fucking classic in
But-
everyone's eyes.
July.
Well, that's what really, they fucked themselves on that. It really should have been released in October, and then everyone would have gone and would have taken their entire families, boyfriend, girlfriend, partners, dogs to go fucking see it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But critics hated it. It's got a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What did Ebert? I know you told me
Roger Ebert rated it.
Oh God.
1 star.
We've never gotten 1 star.
1 star.
Have we gotten 1 star yet?
No. Can I read you a quote that he said about this movie?
Fucking Ebert.
That he hated.
Well, he doesn't like kids movies for the most part.
Or holiday movies. Oh my God, this is proving our theory correct.
Yes.
Ebert hates holiday movies.
Okay, yes. Okay, the more we go... Okay, yeah. Please, go on.
He said, and I quote, "Watching the movie is like attending a party you weren't invited to, and where you don't know anybody, and they're all in on a joke but won't explain it to you."
What?
Who hurt him at a Halloween party? I think he had... This is my totally unsolicited and baseless theory. I think he grew up in a family that didn't celebrate holidays. And I think he always felt left out.
You know what? It seems to me that he's very... I mean, like what he said. He's like, and no one explained it to me. It's like, it's pretty fucking self-explanatory, babes. Like,
I agree. I don't know what's not to
what
get.
What do you mean?
I don't know why this is a party you're not invited to.
Yeah, I'm like,
everyone's invited.
You're invited, bruh. Everyone is invited. It is All Hallows Eve. Everyone, including the ghost of your great grandmother, is fucking invited. So I don't understand. That's odd.
Yeah, and he just goes on to say, like, everyone's shrieking and I don't know what's going on. And I'm just like, it's not
everyone's shrieking. It's not hard to understand.
Yeah, and that's sexist, bruh.
You know what? It is. That's something else we need to look into when it's mostly like feminine based and holiday based and kids movies. Hater.
Although he did weirdly love. What was one he gave 3.5 stars to? And I was like, why? Oh my God, not Matilda. Was it George of the Jungle? He like loved George of the Jungle. No,
I think George of the Jungle and... Well, no, I thought it was George of the Jungle and another movie he gave 2 stars to.
Oh man, I don't know.
Remember. But
anyway,
regardless, wild.
It's pretty funny how much he hated this movie.
That shit is so funny.
I wish he was around. He's R.I.P. no longer with us. I would love to know what he says about Hocus Pocus too.
Who's the new Ebert?
I think sadly, since our culture's like so splintered, I don't think there is like as famous of a movie reviewer.
You know what we should do?
What?
Okay, so we have this. He's basically like our film connoisseur friend named Chris, who is such an amazing filmmaker and writer, and he taught our film class that we absolutely attended and remember everything from. But
I still remember Dutch angles.
Yeah, you remember everything. I remember the snacks. Regardless, we should include him on some of these, and he can be like the new Ebert.
That is such a good idea.
Because I would love to hear, because he's very much like a film buff. Like he's very artistic.
He's seen it all.
Yeah.
He knows the art history. He knows the influences. Yeah. He knows.
And so for us to be like, can you watch Hocus Pocus? Like, and give us a review. Like, that would be so funny.
Yeah, we should start asking.
Yeah, we're going to ask him. Okay.
Love it. Okay.
Hilarious. Sorry.
But yeah, that's basically it for corporate bullshit.
Amazing.
And I guess my little summary, I can try to summarize it.
Yes.
Is a teenage virgin trying to get with a milfy high school student. She looks 35 years old.
Well, she might be.
She's not.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to that. But a teenage virgin trying to get with his milfy classmate shows off by lighting a cursed candle and bringing 3 witches back from the dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
And they wreak havoc, and he has to fix it.
Incredible. So concise. I love that.
Thank you.
That was amazing. I'm confused about the milfy thing.
Okay, so the 2 main people, I guess, are Max, who is a teenage boy, and Allison, who is a teenage girl. Mm-hmm. I believe they were all like 15 to 18 years old when they filmed this.
Yeah.
But even as a kid, I was like, Allison is a mom.
You think that? Or you thought that?
I still think that.
Interesting.
I would not believe she's 16. Like, watching it recently, I was like, she looks like someone's mom.
But here's the thing. Here's my theory. Because when we were kids, I felt like everyone who was a teenager looked like they were 30. Like, in real life. Like, actual teenagers. Like even, like, my cousins that were teenagers when I was, like, 7, 8, 9. Like, they looked fucking 30. And then when I look at us when we were teenagers, we looked like we were 11. Like, fully through high school.
Yeah. But now when I watch things when I'm older, I'm like, okay, like, Max does look young to me. Like, if I saw Max, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I think he's like 20.
Yeah, he has a little bit of a baby face.
But I wouldn't
like
think he's a
pudgy in the
dad.
cheeks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's still like a little kid.
Yeah.
But Allison, I'd be like, yeah, she like has a marketing job, a 401k. She bought a lab-grown Labradoodle. Like,
You know,
this bitch is living.
she's in HR.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying, because she doesn't have, and you know what, maybe it's also like the body type thing, because she doesn't have like pudge on her cheeks or anything like that. She's very
No,
like
angular.
angry. Yeah.
And she
So
wears
maybe-
like fucking like J. Jill sweater sets. Like, she dresses like
She
a
does
full
wear-
on adult.
I mean, that was like what was popping back then, but still, that's like a little. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're
Even
saying.
when we
though.
watched it, I was like, she must have been older. And then we looked it up and I was like, oh no, she's like,
Oh.
she was a teenager.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the 90s, different time, pre-skincare,
True that.
revolution.
True
Everything
that.
was a little different.
Yeah, it was a lot different. So I understand fully.
Actually, one of the older, quote unquote, actors was, I just want you to guess, who do you think was like actually like in their 20s when they filmed this?
In their 20s.
Out of the high school kid set.
Ding 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 ding. Those guys.
Jay.
Jay.
Yeah, the blondie.
Yep, I could see him being like 22.
Yes, so he was the older one, but everyone else was like actually playing or pretty close to their age range.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Usually that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
But I thought they pulled in some older actress.
Which they do.
Yeah.
Like even in Boy Meets World, Angela, who was supposed to be a full teenager, she was 30
Whoa.
and she had a kid.
Wow.
And she's supposed to play like a 15-year-old.
That would be so weird.
Yeah. And everyone
Especially
else
acting with young people.
Yeah. And everyone else is pretty close to their age. So
Wow.
really odd. But she did look like a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, fully.
Mm-hmm.
So. But I know that they did that quite a lot. But yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just getting ready to get into the plot.
Yeah,
but
let's
sorry,
do it.
go on.
No, that's exactly what I was about to do too.
Okay. Well, just before we get into the plot,
Yeah.
just overall,
Yeah.
at this last viewing, I was struck by like how dark this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is a kid's movie, but it was
Yes.
PG-13, and they do shit that I don't think you could do now in kids' movies.
Yeah, like certain jokes that they make and
Or just like,
nods.
I guess we could get into it. The first scene, like the first opening sequence,
Yes.
is colonial Salem.
Yeah.
And it's like you have Thackeray Binks.
Thackeray Binks.
Not Zachary. Thackeray.
Of course it's
Thackeray Binks, who I was like in
Thackeray.
love with as a kid. I was like, he is so
Yes.
hot.
Okay, I didn't look this up, but is he also the guy that plays the like human Casper? Because
I
he
think he might
looks
be.
just like him.
Yeah, let me look.
Okay, and if not, that must be his little brother or some shit. Because
I
they
bet
look
it's the same
exactly
person.
the same.
He plays human.
And I was in love with human Casper and Ghost Casper. If I'm gonna be
Like,
honest.
they were both great. So it was Devin Sawa. I don't think it is the same person.
Dang it. Well,
Thackeray
they look exactly the fucking same. So sign up for a
Yeah,
fucking.
no, it's Sean Murray plays.
They need to
Thackeray.
sign up for a goddamn DNA test and see if they're actually secretly brothers, because they look exactly the same.
Maybe
It's
they are.
wild. Maybe they are. Anyway.
Dun, dun, dun. So anyway, so the scene starts with Thackeray. He's in old school Salem. You see a witch fly by his window. He wakes up and he realizes his sister Emily is gone.
Yep.
And he's searching around and going, Emily! Which Brent and I have now adopted. Anytime something happens around the house or really anywhere that we can't explain, we pretend to talk to Ghost Emily and we're like, Emily! Stop it! Anyway, so he's searching for Emily. He goes into the woods and he comes along the witch house, which is spooky and has a water wheel, which I think was the first time I saw a water wheel. And I was like, that's fucking cool.
It is fucking cool. And also, fun fact, they actually built a full house for this. They literally said that they could just pick it up and put it anywhere and people could fully function and live in it. It's like a full house. It's not a set.
That's so cool.
Mhm. Like, they built it on a set, but it's a full fucking house, which is wild.
That's, yeah, because they never do that shit.
They never do that. But
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay, fun
yeah,
fact.
a little fun fact here.
So then we come to the first scene that I'm like, you couldn't do this in today's movies. They fully kill Emily.
Yes.
She's dead.
Yeah.
They suck the life out of her.
And then her head like hangs.
And she's dead. And I'm just like,
fully dead.
whoa.
Yeah.
And they like kind of make it jokey. Like they like
Yes.
throw a sheet over her and they're like, hee hee. Like, and go on with their lives.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty. And then even the hanging scene, like they don't show their heads, but they, it's not. It's yeah.
Yeah,
it's not
so
good.
yeah, the witches get busted for sucking the life out of the child.
Yep.
They turn Thackeray into an immortal cat. And then they get hanged in front of the townspeople, and their like feet are like swaying in the breeze, and it's like very dark.
And also, I must say, like, I wrote a note about this, that like there's a scene where Thackeray's father is standing there, you know, like, fuck you witches, and Thackeray, who has turned into a black cat, is like circling around his dad, like meowing, being like, Dad, you know, and his dad's like, get away, beast. And like, I feel like black cats get such a bad rap because they're fucking black, bro. Like, they get adopted less.
Same with black dogs. It's
so wild to me. But anyway, people call Thackeray as a cat beast like multiple times.
It's like, Jesus.
It's like, it's a fucking cat. And it's a beautiful cat.
And he like kicks the cat. Like, it's pretty gnarly.
It's like the way he's like, away, beast. I'm like, fucking chill. Like, what is wrong with you? Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah. And then it's a teacher basically reciting this story. So this is just like the teacher's story talking about the Sanderson sisters. And then you come to a classroom in 1992 or 1993. You know, it's a full legend of the Sanderson sisters. And that's when you get introduced to Max, who's sitting in a classroom hearing the story. And he's very much an angsty Californian tie-dye wearing teenager who's like, I don't believe, like, anyone who believes that, like, it's a conspiracy. It's
which they can share your California tie-dye laid-back point of view.
Yep. And then he's like, it's a conspiracy. And
by the candy companies.
Yeah, and then Allison's like, no the fuck it's not. And that's also when you get introduced to Allison, who's sitting in the same class.
Who is like an authoritative mom. She's like, actually, all Hallows Eve is a pagan. And I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of high schooler talks like this?
Listen,
and everyone like applauds her.
Someone whose mom runs the Sanderson house, baby. She knows her shit.
That's true. She's nepotism rears its ugly head.
Yet again. Little nepotiz, baby.
But then Max displays the most big dick energy confidence ever. Like, it's next level.
It is next level game that I hope people think about me also. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if people think I have this much game.
Because after she literally reads him like a book in front of the whole class and everyone's cheering, he fully stands up out of his chair and in front of everyone is like, here's my number. We can talk about this more. And everyone's
he's
like,
straight up like, well, if Jimi Hendrix turns out tonight, here's my number.
Oh, God. I'm like, incredible. Like, the new kid in
amazing.
school. Like, just, wow.
It's number one hot and so cool. Like, the audacity, but also, like, you're fucking cool, bro. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I'm in love with Max.
I thought Thackeray was hotter for some reason, but I also did think Max was hot.
But I feel like you probably thought that Thackeray was hotter because I feel like at that time, that's kind of like the vibe that you...
And yeah, he was like
Orlando
pasty
Bloom
and blonde
energy,
and was wearing like a Renaissance shirt, and I was like,
you're like, where's his elf ears, baby?
Exactly. I'm like, Elfie hot.
He is Elfie hot. He sure is.
That's my thing.
Little ponytail.
Everybody knows that's my thing.
Like Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Side note. One time, Shea and I were at a downtown casino pool. And this, like, guy was walking by, and he had, like, gingery hair, and he was, like, pretty scrawny. And Shay goes, check out the young Ron Howard. You know that's my type. And I was like, Shay, you've literally never, ever expressed the slightest attraction to Ron Howard.
Everybody knows that that's my type, Stacy. And everyone around, like, the couple friends that we had around were like, literally, you have never fucking said that.
Like, this is news to us.
I'm like, y'all should just know, okay? He directed The Grinch. Of course I'm in love with him.
I'm Zorny for him.
I know. Of course I'm capital Z Zorny for his ass. But anyway, that's definitely your type.
Yeah.
Pick him out.
But anyway, so Max displays his big dick energy, fully hits on her. It doesn't work. She gives him back his number immediately after, like, while they're walking home, which is kind of sad. But.
Yeah.
But then on that walk home, who do we meet?
Jay and Ernie, a.k.a. Ice.
Yeah, my name's not Ernie, dude. It's Ice.
Name's not Ernie no more. It's Ice. Ice. And might I say, they're the weirdest fucking bullies I've ever seen.
They
in my
are.
life.
They're pretty lame.
They're like, number one, lame. They're nerds. Honestly, they are tryhards. Like, they're trying way too hard. And also, they're stealing shoes off people's feet, bro.
Shoes and candy.
Get a job, babes. Yeah, like,
not money.
No.
Shoes and candy.
Shoes and candy. I didn't see one person beat up. I'm just saying, they're like very odd, like, jesters out here.
Yeah, they're not cool.
Yeah, very odd. And also, if you guys didn't know, which I think we've brought up multiple times, but Stacy and I were Jay and Ice one year.
That will be the
Halloween. It was
Instagram
incredible.
art.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, we have to bring that up. It's incredible. We did a great job. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. You'll see. You'll all see.
You'll all see. So then Max is angry because they basically stop him in a graveyard as he's on his way home on his bike, and they steal his shoes, essentially. So then he rides home on his bike, shoeless, and he gets home and he's fucking pissed, which, like, I think any of us would be, especially as a hormonal teenager. You're like, fuck everyone, fuck this. We just moved here. I hate it here. Like, I want to be back home in California, blah, 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 blah. And so he, like, stomps up to his room. And
Okay, his sick ass room. Can we just talk real quick about how cool his room is?
Okay, if you guys have ever seen Hey Arnold, it's on the same level of fucking lit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, both of their rooms I would die for. That house is so gorge.
Yeah, and one of our friends I was watching this with pointed out, because I also rewatched this at a Pride Night Parade shindig.
Hell yeah.
And as a group of, guys and gays always do, it's like, let's put on Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
It's a crowd pleaser.
Hells yeah.
So I did fall asleep for like half an hour of it, but I saw most of it. But anyways, somebody pointed out that in that house, they have a painting of the house.
Yes.
And I was like, that's how you know you're fucking rich.
That is so weird that you brought that up, because I have never noticed that until this time.
Wow.
And I was like, it's the part where the dad's like, Happy Halloween.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck? But it looks like an old school portrait of the house, like from when it was first built or some shit. Very odd.
Do you hear Rumi snoring? Oh my goodness.
Little sleepy baby.
Let's be quiet, see if the mic picks it up. Okay. Oh, now she stops. Classic.
Classic
She's like,
dog
why
move.
is everyone not talking? Yeah. But yeah, that's. I feel like you're old money. You're living in a like colonial historic house.
1,000.
Like, this house
Especially
is so
like
nice.
in Salem, like those houses are probably so fucking
yeah.
expensive.
Because it's probably expensive just to like keep them up.
Yeah,
Probably always having to like replace things and redo things.
totally. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, his room is so fucking cool.
It's so fucking cool. So yeah, he stomps up to his room and he just like lays down in bed and he grabs his pillow because, he's like, I'm alone. I'm about to do some cool shit.
I'm not just doing teenage boy shit.
Yeah, so he grabs his pillow. He's like, oh, Allison, you're so soft. I just wanna. And then all of a sudden it's like, boo! And his little sister in a cute little witch costume pops out of his closet because she was hiding there to scare him. And he's like, get the fuck out of my room, basically. And she like jumps on the bed next to him and she's like, Allison, I'm Allison. Kiss me, I'm Allison. Like, mocking him, making fun of him. Which is odd.
Yeah, it's an odd scene because you're like, what if she didn't jump out in time?
She would have seen some shit. Absolutely. And I'm sure she wasn't thinking that because she's literally like
That's
10
what I
years
mean.
old.
It's like she got very lucky.
Yeah, she got very fucking lucky.
And I'm sure that's why he's so mad. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's like, get that fuck.
I can't explain to you why this is so rude, but it really is.
It is beyond rude. I told you to stay out of my room. And one of the funny, this is one of my favorite scenes of all time, especially when I was a kid. She's basically telling him, like, hey, guess what? You're taking me trick-or-treating. And he's just like, nah, I'm not. And she's like, Mom said you have to. And he's like, you're 8. Go by yourself. Which is also, like, she's 8. Go by herself. So 90s.
But it was 93. Yeah.
Exactly. And then she's like, I don't care what you say. You have to take me. And then he starts playing drums, which, again, when I was young, hottest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was also a drummer back in the day. So I thought that was especially hot. And then she's just like, I don't care what you say. You're taking me. He's like, oh yeah. And then he like goes up his stairs because he has a random
staircase in his bedroom.
Wild. And then she like runs up to like the camera basically. So she's super close up and she's like, Mom! Like screams at the top of her lungs. And I am telling you, when I was a kid, that was the height of fucking comedy for me. I laughed so hard every time. Because we've all been there. Mm-hmm. If you have siblings, you've fucking been there.
You screamed at your parents about them all the time.
Top of your lungs.
Dumb shit.
Ah, makes me laugh.
Parenting.
So God.
I'm not ready.
I'm not
Probably
ready either.
Will never be ready.
Especially multiple siblings. I do not know how people will do it.
Yeah, thanks.
Anyway, so that shit is really funny. And then basically next scene is that they're going trick-or-treating.
they have another run-in with the bullies, and the sister totally fucks him over because she's like, my brother will fight you all. And he's like, will you stop?
And he's like, no, the fuck I won't. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And then when they're like, what are you supposed to be? The bullies say that to Max.
New
And
kid
she
on the
goes,
block.
he's a little leaguer. And I'm like, why would you say that?
I'm like, girl, you're
doing him so wrong.
everything she's saying she doesn't realize is so fucked, but it's like the most fucked shit ever. And you know what? I've been in her position before where you like expect your big brother to stand up for you about some dumb shit, and the big brother's, you know, older and wiser, and is like, I'm not gonna get in a fight for you about this.
He's like, shut the fuck up, let's go.
Yeah, my big brother. I have 3 brothers. I have 1 older, 2 younger, and my older brother is very wise and very chill. Like, he could definitely knock a bitch out, but like, when we were younger, I'd be like, yeah, well, my big brother's gonna blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, the fuck I'm not.
Right.
Figure this out for yourself. And so I fully get it. Like, he's like, stop fucking getting me into a battle royale that I'm not signing up for. Thank you.
Yeah, so they get into a big fight where she's like, I hate it here. And she's like, well, it's your home now. Which, like, showing a weird level of wisdom for, like, an 8-year-old.
Totally.
She goes, it's your home now, so you have to get used to it. So they make up, and they decide to go to one last house because it's fucking ginormous mansion.
And they're like, they're probably gonna make us
Bob for apples.
drink cider and Bob for apples.
Which I'm like, don't threaten me with a good
like,
time. That's fantastic.
So then they walk into this giant ass house and they're like, trick or treat, and everyone is dressed like colonial fucking Williamsburg looking ass.
Yeah, I'm like, you're dressed up like colonists? Like, how fucking boring.
I'm like, you guys are gross and white and you need to just like stop. What is fucking wrong with you? How is that
I don't know.
whack,
It's
whatever.
very weird.
So then they see this giant ass bowl of candy and they're like,
Which
hell
looks
yeah.
so good.
It looks good every time. Every time.
And the sucker
Yes.
that she picks up.
The chocolate
that
sucker.
Danny picks up.
You
The
already
little,
know
like,
that it's one of those giant chocolate ones.
and it's like witch painted, and it's so good looking. It is annoying that she just keeps licking it because I'm like, girl, bite into this.
Yeah,
shit.
bite into it.
Bite her head off. It'll be so delicious.
I know.
But she doesn't.
She doesn't know
Probably to
good.
preserve the sanctity of the sucker, whatever.
But it's like, why? You're gonna ruin it anyways.
But
Just
here's
might
one
as well.
interesting plot point: is at this house, who should come down the stairs but Allison?
She's like, Max Dennison, which also is just like a cool name.
Yes.
In general.
But it's like she just got ready and is coming downstairs.
Totally.
But then she's like, I'll change. Like 2 seconds later, and I'm like,
Yeah.
not realistic.
No.
A bitch would not spend that long getting ready. And then she'd be like, no, it's fine.
I mean, she would if she was into.
That's true. But then why'd she return his number?
Maybe she was trying to play hard to get, you know? All these games.
Except for
bitches be,
tonight.
bitches be playing games.
And maybe it was really for Danny. And she's like, oh, Danny likes the Sanderson
Yeah.
sisters. My mom works there.
Yeah.
I can give her the sneak peek.
Mm-hmm. She does seem like a super nerd about this shit.
True.
So maybe she was just like, oh my god, an opportunity to tell people about the tale?
Yeah, and she does mention it had to be shut down and it's been vacant for a while because a lot of spooky things were happening. And you're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny doesn't want to go. She's
No.
like, no, it's too spooky. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I wrote that Danny's fucking wise this whole goddamn movie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she really does, like, pull out some stops.
Yeah. She's really the mom of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, no, that sounds god-awful. Let's fucking not do that. And then Max is like,
This is the girl of my dreams. Oh, this is also the scene where we are introduced to the term for boobs, which are yabos.
Dude, one of my favorite, also another comedic, amazing moment in my childhood is Max likes your yabos. In fact, he loves them. Which would not be in any other Disney movie.
No, you can't be talking
all.
about loving yabos. And she explicitly says it's about boobs because she like points at her boobs and she's like, I can't wear that dress because I don't have, what do you call them, Max? Yabos? And I'm just like, who thought of the word yabos?
Max
What
likes
boy
your
would call
yabos.
them yabos?
In fact,
Is that
he
a
loves
thing?
them.
Is that a thing? Or did
I've
they
never heard them
make
called
up
yabos.
this nonsense word just for Hocus Pocus?
Listen, as someone with like the biggest titties in the world, I have
Yabos.
never heard the term yabos, and I've heard every term for titties in my life. Okay,
I'm gonna look
I've
up
never
yabos.
heard yabos except for this movie or references to this movie.
Yeah, it probably was used before, but I'm just like, that was the first I'd ever heard of it, and the only place I've heard it since.
Yeah, yabos is like on the same goofy level as saying boobs, like boobies. It's like the same, like yabos,
Yabos.
boobies. It's like the same sort of like very rounded word that just sounds like
yes.
very cartoony.
It's appropriate.
It's not sexual. Like, it doesn't sound hot at all. It's just very like, yabos?
Look at my yabos.
Yeah, look at your
Boing,
yabos.
boing, boing. Honk, honk, honk.
Yeah, it sounds very goofy. So I love that she used that term as opposed to any other, I suppose. But yeah, that would never happen today in a Disney movie ever.
Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I watched this with somebody who'd never seen it before.
What?
A girl a couple years younger than us. And we were like, because we were going to watch Hocus Pocus 2. And then she's like, oh, I haven't seen the first one. And we're like, well, we're watching the first one.
Wow.
I'm going to ask her to give her my, like, 1-sentence review.
I don't know anyone who hasn't seen Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, I thought I have her number. I don't. Anyway. Well, she said she liked it at the end, but she might have just been nice. I don't know.
It'd be weird to go in and watch it as an adult for the first time.
Right. I think she was like, I don't really get why you all are obsessed with it.
Cool.
She might have been more on the Roger Ebert train, but she would never say that because she's a nice person.
Well, at least she said she liked it to you guys.
She did. Yes.
Well, then she liked it. Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. It's her favorite movie. Oh, I also wrote, just to like go back a little bit, the part where the bullies like stop Max again trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote, they must be amazing at charades.
Oh, yeah, because they have like a full like 2-man act, like full play.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're a little leaguer, and then one of them like runs over and pretends to be like swinging a baseball bat, and the other's like throwing the ball, and it's like, woo, like, and it's really cartoony.
Yeah,
like,
it's very improv.
good.
Like, they would be great in an improv troupe.
They would, and we would know because we went to one improv class, and Stacy fucking killed it.
Naveed still tells people like, we took improv classes, and I'm like, we went to one. And we never went back, even though I do think we all killed it.
I think you killed it the most.
TBH.
But like, genuinely, Stacy fucking did so well. Not that I was surprised, but I was just like, damn, anyone like running in here, like, improv is so fucking hard, you guys. If you've never done it, I highly actually recommend it for everybody because you have to use a different part of your brain that you're not used to using. Anyways, it's really fun. But yeah, no, they'd be amazing at improv. You're so right. Oh yeah, okay, so moving on from Allison's amazing, gross, colonial, giant mansion house.
And her yabos.
Yes. Max likes your yabos. In fact, he loves them.
Yeah, just the way she says it is so perfect.
It's amazing. Okay, so anyway, next scene. They go to the Sanderson house, which is in like the middle of the fucking woods. And Allison's kind of like showing them around. There's like a lot of displays, and she's like telling them what each thing is. Like, this is their spell book, this is the blah blah blah, this is the candle. And Danny wants to leave pretty immediately.
She's like, this place is creepy, let's get the hell out of here. She's like, what'd you say, you had your fun,
yeah,
you blah blah blah, now let's go,
it's time to go. And then I don't know what gets Max to wanting to talk about the candle, like how he's like, let's light the candle. I don't know what it is. I
think he's just trying to be like a show off.
Yeah, there's something where he's like, you know what, let's fucking light the candle. And then Danny's like, literally no.
Like, please
and then
don't.
He's like, and then a black cat jumps on his neck. And then Danny's like, okay, this is fucked, let's get the fuck out of here. And he's just like, no, let's light the sucker and meet the old broads. And then he fucking lights it against all of their wishes. The flame turns black. He's like, uh-oh. And then every light that is on, like when they turned on the lights and entered, all of the bulbs are fucking exploding. All of a sudden, like, a huge gush of fucking Beyonce's fan wind comes through and blows them all, and they're all like, what the fuck is going on? And then they hear cackles, and they're like, uh-oh. And then the 3 Sanderson sisters show up.
And like, ha 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 ha, they're like cackling. And they come through the front door, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Maybe they like showed back up at the place where they got hanged. I don't know. But yeah, they show up at the front fucking door, and everyone hides. So they like go in, and they're like, sisters, we're back. And they're wondering like, but who lit the black flame candle? And one of the sisters, Mary, can smell when children are near, because did we even talk about the fact that like their whole thing is eating children, like taking children's souls in order to be young again? Yeah,
we kind of touched on it when they sucked the soul out of Emily.
Okay.
But yeah, they do it to look young and beautiful. Because at the very beginning, they're like a little haggy. And then after they suck Emily's soul out, they get younger.
Yeah, so just in case you haven't watched, that's the reason why they go after children. So Mary is basically able to sick children. She can like smell them when they're...
She's like very dog-like. Like she growls, she
Yes.
barks, she has a great sense of smell.
Mm-hmm.
She's dope.
So she's like, wait a minute, I smell children. They're like, sick them. So she's like, maybe 7, maybe 8.5, and they're like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
So then she knows where Danny is, and then Danny pops up, and being a genius and a fucking G that Danny is, she's just like, I knew that you had come, sisters. And she pretends to be a witch who like wanted to bring them back, which is so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Befriend thine enemy, you feel me? And they're not buying it, obviously. And so they basically threaten her, and they're like, we're going to eat you for supper. And that's when Max pops up, and he's like, I don't fucking think so.
Mm-hmm.
And then they basically have a battle royale.
Yep, and then they do a little outsmart trick.
Yeah.
So they're like, they've almost got Emily like tied to a chair, like they're trying to find their little potion book. They're trying to brew their potion and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Max holds a lighter up to the sprinkler and says he is the great and powerful Max.
Yeah.
And he's like, I summon the rain of death. Or wait, it's here, right? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Burning rain of death. And so he turns the sprinklers on. They freak out. They think it's going to melt them. Everybody leaves. They grab the spell book.
Yep.
There's no potion yet. They think they're all good.
And also, I have to say, too, that Thackeray Binks also speaks to Max. And then Max is like, you can fucking talk. And he's like, yeah, no kidding. Let's get the fuck out of here. And so Thackeray kind of leads them on the way out.
And explains a little more. Like, yep, those were them. You're an idiot. You lit the black flame candle, you virgin loser.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I've been fucking protecting this shit for 300 years. And then you come in and you fuck everything up? Shit sucks. So meanwhile, as like Binks is explaining this to the 3 kids, the 3 sisters realize, wait, it's just water. This isn't
Tis
fucking
but water.
burning. Tis but water. This isn't fucking burning rain. So then
Quite refreshing.
Oh yeah, quite refreshing. So the thing that the thing that never really gets explained, but I was like watching some of the behind the scenes stuff, is that all 3 sisters have the same father. Mm-hmm. Like in the story, according to the story that they were given in 93, they all had the same father. Their father was a warlock, but their mothers were all different. So like,
interesting.
Sarah's mom was actually the village idiot, quote unquote. And so that's why she's kind of a little bit like more
dumb.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a better word, but she's just like more carefree, doesn't really think too much. She's like, her head's in the clouds. So that's why she's just like, it's refreshing.
She starts drinking it.
Amazing. But yeah, so then they leave their crib because they're like, we need to get the fucking book back, and then we also need to suck the lives out of children before the sun comes up. Otherwise, we turn to dust.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of go on their separate journeys. So yeah, but it's funny to watch the sisters kind of get reintroduced to the world, because the last time they were alive, it was 1693.
Yeah.
They don't know dick about what's going on right now.
They think the road is a frozen river.
Yep.
They think that car lights are the sun. What else?
People in costumes, like, they didn't understand that at
like
all.
Hobgoblins.
Like, so Mary was like, I smell children, but I don't see children, because she's seeing children all dressed up fucking weird, and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
But Winifred kind of figures out shit quicker than the rest. Like, she's like, they are children, they're just in costume.
Yep. But what I love about it is a bus comes up, almost hits them, and I love this fucking bus driver.
This bus driver also has BDE.
He hella fucks. You know he hella fucks.
He wanted all of them. He's like, hey, ladies.
Yeah, he was just like, bubble, I'm in trouble. He is so cool. And anyways, they're like, this is another joke that I did not get until watching it this time, where they were like, I will take you to your deepest, you know, they don't know what a fucking bus is. And so he's kind of like explaining in a joking way, because he thinks that they're pretending to be witches from the 1600s. And so he's like, I will take you to your most something desires. And then they're like, we desire children. And he's like, might take me a couple tries, but I'll get there. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And I never got that as a kid, obviously.
So good. There are like quite a few adult jokes.
There's so many. Yeah. So anyway, they get on the bus, and he's just like, whoa, yow. You know, he's in love with all of them because he's a G. And so he takes them where a lot of trick-or-treaters are. And that's when they're like, what the fuck? I smell children, but I don't see children. They're just in, like, a regular neighborhood, and then some dude walks out of his house and is like, ha 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 ha, and he's dressed like the devil.
And they're like,
And
master.
So they like run up to his house and they spend a little bit of time with him because they think that he's the devil, who would obviously be their master if they are devil worshipping witches.
Yeah, but his wife is not having it, who's actually his sister in real life.
Yeah, so they're both fucking directors. Fun fact, it's Gary, what's his last name?
Patty something?
What'd you say?
It's Gary and Patty something. I can't think of
Yeah,
their
why
last
can't I think
name.
of their last name?
But yeah.
He directed
Because he came up in one of our
Princess
other
Diaries.
episodes, right?
Yes, he directed Princess Di. It's because his wife in the movie, but his sister in real life, she directed the baseball movie, the Women
League of Their Own.
League of Their Own. Yeah, why couldn't I think of that?
Yes.
Yeah, so she directed that movie. So and
Such
they
a
act
G.
together sometimes. So it was cute that they were in this movie together as well. But yeah, so the wife isn't having it because all these the three witches are like obsessed with him and are in love with him, and then Sarah's like, won't you dance with me? So they're like dancing in the dark, and his wife comes
Which is
downstairs.
a bold move, bro.
Honestly, your wife is in your fucking house, bruh.
Bag.
The audacity of men, let me tell you what. But anyway, so she's like, get out of my house, and she's like,
Your
make
little
us
tart face,
your
which is such a good
little
insult.
face and get out of my house. She was pretty chill.
Yeah,
actually.
true. She's just like, get the fuck out.
And he's like, they're calling me mister. And she's like, wait do you see what I'm gonna call you? I'm like, fuck yeah. Amazing. So then they leave and they realize all three of their brooms were fucking stolen, baby, which is how they were getting around. So they had to find other means later on.
Mm-hmm. And then meanwhile,
Meanwhilest.
Max, Danny, and Allison are trying to find adults. They run into somebody dressed up like a cop who's like an asshole to hit them. So they're like, now we can't go to the cops. So they go to where everyone's parents are. Seems like everyone in the entire town's parents are at this like holiday party, Halloween party. Why did that take me so long?
Yeah, like town.
Like at a big gym or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's like the town hall or some shit like
yeah,
that.
and like
I feel
every adult is there, and Max's mom is dressed up like Madonna,
which is so cool.
and his dad's dressed up as Dadcula.
Dadgula.
And he like aggressively hits on Allison.
Yeah,
He's like, who is this gorgeous creature? And then he starts kissing her like arm. I'm like,
fucking chill, Dad.
Like,
what the fuck?
Exactly. And he's like, Dad, you have to listen. Like, there's a bunch of sisters and they're after us. And of course, the parents don't believe them.
Because why
And they're
would
like,
they? I
You had
guess.
too much candy. And then who should appear on the stage but the three Sanderson sisters?
Dun dun dun.
And this is where we get the one and only musical number by the fabulous Broadway talented Bette Midler.
Which is incredible. And also, fun fact, Sarah Jessica Parker is also a Broadway kid.
Oh, I did not know
She
that.
played Annie
Really?
on Broadway. Yep.
Whoa, did not know that.
Yeah. So she's very well versed as well in the theater and in musical theater specifically. And she also recently had a show with Matthew Broderick, who is her husband, on Broadway as well.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so the Sanderson sisters get the mic. Max is trying to tell everybody that, like, oh, like, there's witches. And she goes, thank you, Max, for that marvelous introduction. And
Fucking
just the way she says it is so good.
So then she sings, I put a spell on you. And as she's singing it, it actually is putting a spell over all these parents. And she's like, dance until you die. So they're all just basically like, is it conformed? What's not that word?
Brainwashed?
Yeah.
Possessed?
They're brainwashed, but they're like, confined. They're like confined in this
Yes,
space.
they're
like,
stuck there until
all
dawn.
night.
Well, if the witches survived, I think truly until they die.
Yeah.
But since they explode into dust, that's when the curse is broken.
Right. But they would have exploded into dust at like when the sun came up.
But I'm saying if they didn't explode into dust,
right.
then I think those people would have danced until they died.
Yeah, probably.
Which is dark.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
And before we leave the scene, I was also aggressively attracted to Skeleton Man.
Yes, me too.
Like, I was like, oh my
BDE.
God.
Everyone in this fucking movie has a BDE.
Yeah, like when he's performing, it's like...
Yeah, what was he singing? He was singing I Put a Spell on You.
I put a spell on
Put a
you.
spell on you.
It's so hot.
It's the eye contact and
It's
how
the
he's
eye
like
contact
staring
and
at
his
Bette Midler and
makeup
she's just like,
yeah, she's like, all right.
She's like, It's incredible. Oh, love it. Yeah, he's very hot. But anyone dressed like that, like with that makeup, is so fucking hot to me. With skeleton makeup.
True, but I think it's the combo of the skeleton makeup and the performance.
And the top hat.
Yeah.
A good top hat is hot. aka fucking Panic at the Disco
I
era.
thought you were gonna say Abe Lincoln, like
Also
we talked
Abe
about during Bedazzled. You and your Abe Lincoln.
Also
love.
Abe Lincoln. The thing is, here's the thing. I don't want any listeners to get it twisted and think that I'm like obsessed with Abe Lincoln, because I'm literally
She's so
not.
obsessed.
All I'm saying is that he's attractive. That's all I've ever said. But I do like a good top hat, and that makes.
Well, I think
someone
we're
hot.
starting to figure out why you're attracted to him.
Maybe it's
all
just
on the top hat. You put a top hat on and you're Shea catnip.
Honestly, like everyone I've ever seen in a top hat is hot. I'm trying to think of anyone who is wearing one that isn't. Nobody.
Mr. Peanut.
I mean, he could get it. No, I'm just- I'm just
A little monocle ass.
yeah, fucking
The Monopoly
guy.
Man.
Sexy. No, but you know what? I've never seen anyone be him like as a like no human.
Well, he's in Ace Ventura too, remember? There's like this little guy dressed up like the Monopoly Man, and Jim Carrey goes, "You must be the Monopoly guy," and then he punches him in the face, and then like flops him around. Oh my god! It's
you know
so
what though?
good.
It's hard to be attracted to anyone else in that movie but Jim Carrey,
He shines bright like a diamond.
because he is so fucking hot in every goddamn movie he's ever in, and I'm obsessed with him. But anyway,
Where were we?
like top hat daddies. Oh, yeah, we were just talking about how hot Skeletor is.
Yes.
Fine ass. And then where are we after that?
This is
Oh.
about where I fell asleep, so my notes get a little scant.
And in that scene, Sarah is making out with like a random mummy at the party,
yeah.
like pretty immediately, and I'm like, oh my god, that's fucking me. Because when I used to party all the time, you could count and you could bet on your bottom dollar that I'd be in a random corner with someone probably dressed like a mummy, no matter if it was Halloween or not. Amazing. Okay,
Yes.
anyways.
Oh, and you also, at this point, you run into the zombie guy, Billy the Butcher or whatever. He's like running around chasing him because Winifred summoned her lover.
Yes.
And so she
You
sticks
know
him
what?
on him. So he's also in the mix now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if they go to the grave right after this or right before this.
Yeah, but he's definitely in the dance.
Okay, so they would have had to go to the grave before they went to the dance, because on hallowed ground, witches cannot step foot there.
Yes, they just have to hover over it.
So they thought that they were safe, and that's when, Winifred and the other sisters grabbed their brooms. So we kind of got things mixed up a little bit. But anyway, we're back.
Anyways, the point is, after the dance, the kids think of a way to get rid of the witches.
Exactly. But we do need to mention the fact that Billy Butcherson, who was Winifred's ex-lover, quote unquote, and also Sarah's lover, quote unquote, got basically rose from the dead as a zombie, and he has his mouth completely sewed shut because Winifred sewed his mouth shut before burying him.
Yeah, gross.
So she rose him again in order to fulfill what she needed, because she couldn't be on the ground floor. You feel me?
So she's like, "You're gonna be my legs," but then he just chases him for the rest of the movie.
Yep, and you're kind of you're like, oh, so he is evil, and then you find out later that he's not, and he was just trying to like help them essentially.
But they managed to ditch him in a sewer grate, and this scene's so gross because like he's trying to come out of the sewer grate, and then a car runs over the plate, and like all of his fingers get chopped off, and it's like pretty gross.
His head also gets like
and they're like wiggling around his fingers after they got cut off, like ugh.
And
His
his
head gets
fucking
knocked off. His heads are falling off.
Heads are falling off. We
Dumb
need
and
to do
Dumber
Dumb and
reference.
Dumber because we bring it up like every episode.
It's such a good movie.
It is it's probably one of our top threes.
Yes, it's incredible.
So good.
Anyway.
But anyway, so moving back. So they lose Billy Butcherson in the dance, the zombie guy. He looks like he fits right in. You know, his makeup, he just looks like he's like zombified for a party. So chill. So they leave, and then I think right after this is when they are trying to figure out a plan, and then they're like, wait a minute, let's go to the old library. Isn't that what they do?
They go to the school.
They go to the school. Yeah, not the library. What am I talking about? They go to the school, and there, for some reason, there was like a furnace there.
It was a ceramic studio, so it's the
It's a
kiln.
ceramic studio.
But another one of our friends that were watching this with pointed out, they're like, why would you have a giant walk-in kiln that closes from the outside at a high school?
Right, and locks.
Yeah, you're asking for death
Literally.
and lawsuits.
Absolutely. But yeah, so they find a way to like lure the three witches in, and they're like, we're gonna kill them. Let's burn them alive. We can do this.
Fucking metal.
And so they lured them in to the little ceramic kiln, and they locked it up, and they lit it on fire.
Brutally
and
murder them.
Yeah, and they're like, ha, they fucking got murdered. And so they just start celebrating. And
yeah, they have the book still.
They have the book, and
they
Binks
bring it home.
is like, okay, well, see you guys later. And they're like, wait, you're one of us, bro. Come back home with us. And so they all go back home to relax. And Danny
This is when I started to wake up.
Oh, okay.
And my first thing is I was like, I never noticed that Max has like a bunch of trout all over his like pillowcases and sheets.
That was a big 90s thing.
I was like, what's with all the trout sheets?
Similarly to like roosters and like chickens being like very decorative at that time for no reason.
But I was like, why would Max want trout sheets? He's from California.
I mean,
you don't go trout fishing in California, do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I guess
fishers
it
out
depends
there.
on where.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a 90s parent thing. Maybe they're like, this is cool and like, this is a boy thing to have fish on your sheet. That's like, what?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Weird shit. But yeah, so they go back home, and Danny falls asleep with Binks in bed, and it's like adorable. And then Max and Allison fall asleep like sitting on the stairs with a blanket, which seems so
looks
fucking
mad
uncomfortable.
like ow, back pain watching it.
Yeah, I'm like, what, dude? So they fall asleep for a few hours, and as they're asleep, the sisters, like, once the fire goes out or whatever, they're just like, oh, we didn't die.
There's really
still fucking
well, it's
living.
weird because you see their soul leave the chimney,
Right?
and then it just gets sucked back into the chimney for no reason, and they're like, we're alive.
Yeah, and they're like, maybe the only thing that could kill them was the sun coming up at that point. So they're just like, okay, well, cool. We don't have our fucking book. We don't know where anyone is. Fucking great. The sun's about to come up in like an hour, probably, maybe 2. So we're just gonna fucking die. So they go back to their crib. On the way back to their crib, though, isn't that when they find Jay and Ernie?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like walking past, and Jay and Ernie are still awake at probably, I want to guess, like 4 a.m.
No, we got this all out of order because I realized the Jay and Ernie scene happens earlier because the witches do brew the potion and they're getting it all ready. And that's when they pull their daylight savings trick and shine the lights through it and tricks them for a second time. So they turn on the car lights. Max tips over the potion. They do the daylight savings trick, and then they save the one last scoop, and they want to get it to
But isn't
Danny.
that when they kidnap Danny because they go to the house because they open up the spell book?
Oh my god, you're so right. I can't remember what order.
No, it's a hard.
You know what? Maybe Roger Ebert had a point. Maybe this was too confusing because there's like 3 different like fake death scenes for the witches.
True. Oh, that's the thing. That's the thing. When you're trying to like verbally, there's so many like little moving parts. Okay, so let's get back. So they're asleep. The witches, they're like, okay, we didn't die. So they go back to their house and they're trying to remember from memory. But on their way back to their crib, they see Jay and Ernie, and Jay and Ernie are still awake, and they're like, you want to like sit and watch babes undress in their window? And then Ernie's like, all those girls are asleep. And so they're trying to figure out what to do.
Which
like
is
what more, gross. What more like shenanigan shit to get into. And then they see the 3 witches, and they're like, see, it's always the ugly girls that are out late. And then Winifred's like, fucking excuse me. So
yeah, no, he goes, it's only ugly chicks, and she goes, chicks. Like that's the part that she's offended by.
Yeah. So then she grabs those guys in the next scene. They're in fucking cages spinning around.
Ugh.
Which another fucking one of my favorite fucking parts in any movie ever. And you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
They're trying to remember what the recipe is for the potion in order to kill the kids, you know, in order to like suck their souls out. And they're like, is it a dead man's toe? A dead man's blah? Like they're trying to figure out what ingredient it was. And they're like, dead man's bums, chungs. And then Ernie looks over at Jay and is like, chungs? And then she's like, dead man's chungs. And when I was a kid, that was the funniest fucking scene of my whole fucking life. And my bros and I would constantly bring it up all the time. Dead man's chungs, which we took as balls. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else took it. Dead man's chungs.
And I just love when Jay goes, let us out. We think you're really cute.
Yeah, we think you're really cute. So then they kind of just accept death because they're like, we can't fucking remember this recipe. And so they're just like, whatever, we're just going to die. And then she's like, take me outside so I can look out into the world for the last time.
Bye-bye, cruel world.
Yep. And so she looks out the window and she's like, goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye, blah, blah, blah. Now, meanwhile, as that's happening, Alice and Max woke up. Allison was like, fuck, it's literally like 6 a.m. My parents are going to actually murder me. I've been out all night.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's like, okay, well, maybe to make myself feel better, I'm going to grab some salt. Like, just to, you know.
Because she's a smarty pants and remembers that salt keeps out witches.
Yeah. So, or no, does she look, is it because
Oh,
she
it's in the
opened up,
book. You're right.
Yeah,
It's in
she
the book.
opened up the spell book, which Binks
bad
had already
idea.
warned them, don't fucking do that. But they were like, the witches are dead. It's not going to be a big deal.
And
So
they don't notice that it's like fucking glowing
I don't know how the fuck
and
they
sending
don't
up a
notice.
fucking laser beam of orange light. They have no idea.
I know. I don't know how they didn't notice either. But they open up the spell book and yeah, giant light, like green light shoots out and is basically like a fucking Luxor light, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And so they're like, okay, well, I'll just get salt for the way home so that I feel like protected, because salt is a very protective element that you can use in witchcraft and otherwise. And so as they do that, they're like, she's going downstairs, she's trying to find the salt. She and Max are being flirty, and all of a sudden they hear like a thud, because when they opened the book, that green light showed, and that's right when Winifred was looking out the window to say goodbye, and she sees the green light and she knows what that means.
That's my book.
So she's like, I know where my book
Which the book is alive if we have not mentioned it. The book is alive if we have not mentioned it. It has a little eyeball, has a little personality.
Yeah, it has a little personality, speaks to them. She could be like, ooh, what's a good spell for, you know, healing like smallpox or something, and then the book would just like fly open.
Which
Not
would
that
be
they would
mad
ever
helpful.
they would never want to like cure smallpox.
It's like the internet. Before the internet.
Yes, true that.
Google book.
The Google book, baby. Googly eye book.
Ooh,
It has
Google
a-
Eye book. That's right.
There
It's
you
all
go.
connected.
So they hear a thud and they're like, what the fuck is that? So they're like, Danny? So they go upstairs and they're like, Danny, are you okay? They don't find, they're like, Danny? So they take off the blanket and it's I think it's
Sarah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
And it's so
Not Sarah Michelle,
scary.
what am I
Like
talking
it's like ooh, like it's like a jump scare.
That
'Cause she's
scared
like,
the fuck out of me when I was a kid.
and everything's like flying around because they broke the windows and it's like
Yep.
chaos.
And then Winifred and Mary have not only the book, but they also have Danny. So then they fly away with both. And Allison and Max are like, what the fuck? And so,
And that's when they come up with the daylight savings trick.
yeah. So they drive over to the house because they remembered where the house was. Well, she knew where the house was. So they drove over. They turned the high beams on into the house. And that's how Max freaked them out again and was like, daylight savings
Yeah, like
time.
the sunrise is coming an hour early and they
So
fall
go
for
fuck
it
yourself.
again.
Yeah,
While
and
they're
like, "Oh,
freaking
no,
out,
we're
Max
melting."
tips over the potion, but not all the way, idiot. Leaves Jay and Ernie, steals his shoes back,
Yep.
and then they
Grabs
go
Danny.
off and they're like, wee.
Yep. So like, fuck you. And I think they do go back to the graveyard.
They go back to the graveyard because they're like, they're not dead, but
They can't set foot here.
mhm.
So yeah, they go back to the graveyard, and the witches are like, okay, we're gonna have to fly on fucking something. We don't have our brooms, so let's fucking go. So they grab like old brooms, and then Mary has a fucking vacuum.
Mhm.
Ah, poor Mary.
And they like, because Max didn't destroy all the potion, they have one vial of the soul sucking
Mm-hmm.
potion left that they're bringing with them to the graveyard.
Yep. So then they all have a battle royale in the graveyard, and
Lots of physical comedy. Billy, the butcher guy, gets his head knocked around
Mhm.
and whatnot.
and he finally like gets a fucking knife because Max had a knife on him this whole time, and he uses the knife to cut his mouth because, as you might remember, it was sewed shut by Winifred, and he finally opens it up and moths fly out of his, which were real moths.
That was going to be the trivia fact I shared with you.
Oh,
You already
okay.
know it.
I did know.
Yeah, fucking
little
this man stored
capsules.
real moths in his mouth.
Yeah, there were two little capsules. One of them was for dust, and the other was for actual live moths. Nuts. So anyway, he opened his mouth up and was finally like, "You bitch," essentially, which is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically,
He helps the kids.
yeah, Winifred is about to. She's trying to like force feed Danny the potion, and Danny's like, I'm not doing it. And so it gets knocked off, I think because of Binks. I think Binks like jumps on and knocks it off. Max grabs it. And then he's like, give me Danny. And she's like, give me the potion, and then, you know, whatever. And then he basically felt like he had no choice, so he sacrificed himself to save his sister. He drank the potion so that she had to take his soul instead.
So sweet.
So she drops,
which is a tie-in to the Thackeray Emily thing, because Thackeray couldn't save his sister.
Yep.
But Max can.
Exactly. So then Winifred, fucking strong ass bitch, grabs him by his fucking jacket, like up in the air. She goes on. I don't know how she's able to go on the floor all of a sudden.
I don't know that she is on the floor, is she?
Yeah, she walks.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know what?
Slight plot hole.
She does turn to stone, so
That's
maybe
true.
that's
Oh
why.
yeah, you right.
But yeah, she grabs him and she starts to like suck his soul. But then she starts turning to dust because as that's happening, the sun is finally coming up.
I think you're right. I think she turns to stone because she's on hollowed ground.
I think so too.
But then she explodes into dust because of the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because Sarah and Mary don't turn to stone.
Right.
They just explode. Spoiler alert. They die. So Sarah goes, bye-bye. And then Mary's like, bye. And she explodes. And then as Winifred's about to like kind of take her last soul breath, I don't know, like fucking Dementor
Her
shit.
slurp.
Slurp, yeah.
Her soul slurp.
She turns into a complete statue.
Which looks nothing like her.
Not at all.
It's really funny when they try to
bad.
transition from her to the statue. You're like, okay, I guess it's kind of related.
And what's wild is like they had to recreate literal puppets that looked exactly like the three girls, and it's like crazy that they like made these. They look exactly like them, just for like scenes of the three of them like flying like far away or whatever, and it looks just like them, but they couldn't recreate a statue that looks just, it's very odd. But anyway, so then yeah, when she's about to take her final breath, she turns to stone. Max is alive.
Everyone explodes into dust. The curse is broken.
So they're gonzo. The curse is
parents can stop dancing. Everyone comes home.
And then Binks, seemingly dies
because the curse is broken, keeping him alive.
And then his ghost, like the old ghost version of himself, is like, "Hey, I'm okay." And then he hears Emily calling him, who looks like just like she did, before she was cursed. And they kind of like walk into the distance together. But before they do, he like kisses Danny on the cheek, and he's like, "I'll always be with you."
Yeah, Danny is such a good actress. Like, she's crying and she's like, I'm gonna miss you. You're my only cat.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
She's so cute.
And then the movie ends. But I will also say, fun fact, the voice of Binks is not the guy that plays human Binks. It's the same dude that plays, oddly enough, Max in the Goofy movie.
Wow, I can hear that.
It's
okay.
Jason something. He also was in Boy Meets World and a couple of other things. But yeah, super weird. I don't know why,
why didn't they
use
just
his
get
voice.
Thackeray to do it?
I have no idea. But his voice was used a lot, in the Disneyverse. They really liked him, and he's great. His voice is really, I don't know, there's something spunky about his voice.
Strong and fun.
Yeah, but I don't know why they didn't use the same guy. Yeah. Very, very weird. But anyway.
But even at the end of this movie that came out in 93, the ending is quite clearly setting up for a sequel, because you think everything's fine, and then it flashes back to the book with its eyes closed, and the book like opens its eyes and the music kicks back on, and you're like, oh, they're not really dead.
And I'll say what I loved about this movie too is it's another storybook opening too.
Oh yeah,
which I love so
Give
much.
us more.
But all in all, as we all know, I think one of the best Halloween movies of our time.
Real quick, I did realize we forgot one other great musical number by Sarah Michelle Parker.
Oh, yes.
Where
come little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment.
Such a good song.
It's so haunting and really beautiful, and I wouldn't blame any kids for like coming around the corner, and when she comes, I would too, to be honest. I love that fucking song. But yeah, you're right. 2 musical numbers in this bit.
Sorry,
Well, kind
my
of
dog
3.
keeps stretching so adorably.
She's adorable,
She's
and
so
she matches with the
distracting.
carpet.
She's so cute.
So cute.
I love you.
But yeah, one of the best Halloween movies of all time, especially of our generation, I would say.
Yeah, it's so iconic. That's why we did a Halloween month. I'm like, people are gonna want Hocus Pocus.
Absolutely. So we did this for y'all because we love you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And we're obviously obsessed with you. So
So should we do some trivia and some personality tests before we depart?
Okay, I got the trivia for you, babes.
Okay, I'll find the personality test while you get that loaded up.
Okay. Do you want me to ask questions now?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the setting of this witchy movie?
Salem, Massachusetts.
Good job. What is the final ingredient for the life-sucking potion?
Ooh, the final ingredient. Oh my god. I don't know. Witch's spit?
Close. Thine own tongue.
Thine own tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, Shay gave me a big ol' hint. You guys couldn't see.
Okay. Oh. What is Max's nickname
Oh my god, he has a nickname?
that the bullies call him?
Oh. Don't they just call him California?
No. But close. Specifically in California.
Oh, what's up, LA or something?
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Wow, I don't know why I can't remember any of this.
No, it's
Hollywood.
okay.
That's
You're
right.
on steroids, babe.
Yeah, I'm on the
taking
roids.
over.
My brain is filled with pumping iron.
Well, we went over this, but what song does Winifred Sanderson sing at the Halloween
I put a spell on you.
And now you're mine. Okay, you got a 100%.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yay. Killed it. Okay.
Killed it.
I have a BuzzFeed quiz. It's which Hocus Pocus character are you based on your day as a witch, which I think is kind of fun.
Oh my god, fun.
Okay, first question. What will your outfit look like? Okay, this is a picture-based quiz.
Okay.
Hold on, please.
I could always go on it too if you want
Okay,
to
no,
send
I
me
have
the
no
link.
one. Okay. If you could have any powers, what kind would they be? Oh, I have to tell you the answers.
I'm like, wait, do you want me to look it up?
No, I thought you were looking at them like she's.
Oh, let me.
No, let me read them. Powers to make anyone fall in love with me, to have food at my fingertips, and every power I want to be as powerful as possible.
Wait, do you want me to
You know
look?
what? I realize that this is Witch Sanderson. I want like which Hocus Pocus character you for everybody.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I found a good one.
Okay, perfect. Is it picture?
Sorry, everybody, it's not.
Okay, perf.
Okay. First off, how do you feel about Halloween? It's the best holiday ever. It's fun, but it's not my favorite holiday. Halloween's for little kids. I love Halloween. It makes me sick. It's all right. Or it's great. I get to dress up and wear a costume.
I love Halloween.
I love Halloween. Okay. What word best describes you? Irresponsible, caring, excitable, cunning, sarcastic, flirty, or calm?
I'm a mix of a couple of them, but probably caring.
Caring. I like that. All right. What are you doing on Halloween? Preparing my adorable Halloween outfit? Taking someone else trick-or-treating? I'm going trick-or-treating. Just walking around town. Keeping watch to prevent potential dangers. Going to a costume party? Plotting a way to prank people.
Costume party.
Yeah, you and me both, babes.
Always.
Okay, which is your favorite fall-related activity?
Ooh.
Seeing the leaves change colors, going through a corn maze, curling up by a warm fireplace with some hot apple cider, hanging out with friends, making Halloween crafts, pumpkin picking and carving jack-o'-lanterns, and going on a hayride.
Ooh.
I know those all sound great.
I've never been on a hayride, but I've always
Me
wanted
neither.
to go on one. We should try to go on one this year. So I'd say hayride.
Okay. What Halloween costume are you wearing? I don't think they're going to have our answers here. Something cute and fun. A dark witch. No costume for me. Anything that hides my face. A historic-inspired costume. A good witch or a cat.
What was it? Historical? I guess that's technically what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
wait till you guys see what our costume's going to be.
It's so amazing. Okay.
Which of these colors is your favorite? Cream, the color of bone. Dark green, the color of emerald crystals. Purple, the color of witches. Blue, the color of mystery. Red, the color of blood. Orange, the color of pumpkins. Or black, the color of the night.
I like a lot of these, but my favorite color is forest green because of trees, not because of emeralds, but I will still take it.
Love it. Dark green. Okay. Which Halloween song are you listening to? I Put a Spell on You. The Addams Family by Vic Mizzy. Super Freak by Rick James. Ghostbusters by Ray Park Jr. Thriller by Michael Jackson. Monster Mash by Boris Pickett. Or Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell.
Thriller for sure. I know
Thriller
the full
for
dance.
sure.
I skipped a whole day of school to learn the dance in high school.
Very important.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah. Now, which pop punk Halloween song are you?
Ooh,
Interesting.
pop punk.
I don't know a lot of these, but some of them we do. Dead Walker, Texas Ranger by Sleeping with Sirens. It's Almost Halloween by Panic at the Disco. Vampires Will Never Hurt You by My Chemical Romance. Monster by Paramore.
Hmm.
Black Cat by Mayday Parade. Forever Halloween by The Maine. And The Only Thing That Haunts This House Is Me by Fireworks.
Monster by Paramore,
I
baby.
knew it.
I love Paramore.
Okay,
Oh.
pick a Halloween emoji. Lightning bolt, candle, ghost, bat, skull, owl, or witch.
Candle.
Candle, easy. Okay, you're Allison.
Ooh.
Like Allison, you're responsible and you're usually on your best behavior. But don't let anyone tell you that you're boring. You can be a bit mischievous and know how to have a good time, especially around Halloween.
True.
And there's her milfy self.
She's hot. She's hot.
Okay.
What can you say?
I'm gonna refresh
Although
this and
I
toss
always
it away.
get in trouble. I do not play it safe. Okay,
You're like,
y'all.
all right, here we go.
Here we go.
Nice catch.
Thanks, darling. Okay, here we go. Let me go to the top.
It's a little tricky. Try very hard not to click any of the ads or you'll be fucked.
Okay.
But they pop up a lot.
First off, how do you feel about Halloween? It's the best holiday ever. It's fun, but it's not my favorite holiday. Halloween's for little kids. I love Halloween. It makes me sick. It's all right. Or, it's great. I get to dress up and wear costumes.
It's great. I get to dress up and wear costumes. That's its main appeal for me.
Honestly. What word best describes you? Irresponsible, caring, excitable, cunning, sarcastic, flirty, or calm?
God, I don't know. I feel both excitable and calm at times.
I know. You are both of those things.
Let's go cunning.
Cunning. I thought you would go with that one, and I agree, because you're very intelligent. What are you doing on Halloween? Preparing my adorable Halloween outfit? Taking someone else trick-or-treating? I'm going trick-or-treating. Just walking around town, keeping watch to prevent potential dangers, going to a costume party, or plotting a way to prank people.
I'd say it's a combo of watching for potential dangers and costume parties. Because I do have a very sixth sense of when shit's about to go down.
She really does.
It's like my spidey senses tingle and I'm like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But I'll go with costume party because that's mainly
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
And that's what she and I will be doing for sure. Which is your favorite fall-related activity? Seeing the leaves change colors, going through a corn maze, curling up by a warm fireplace with some hot apple cider, hanging out with friends, making Halloween crafts, pumpkin picking and carving jack-o'-lanterns, or going on a hayride.
Yeah, I'd say my most like established tradition is picking out a pumpkin and carving it. Like I always make sure I do that.
Oh, I love that. I don't do that anymore.
Oh my God, I love it.
We did that. Remember I did George from Seinfeld that one year?
Yes, which is
That was
incredible.
Amazing. I forgot that I did that. What Halloween costume are you wearing? Something cute and fun? A dark witch. No costume for me. Anything that hides my face? A historic inspired costume? A good witch? Or a cat?
Well, since Shea are doing a couple's costume, I do have to go with a historic costume.
True. Okay. Which of these colors is your favorite? Cream, the color of bone, in parentheses. Dark green, the color of emerald crystals. Purple, the color of witches. Blue, the color of mystery. Red, the color of blood. Orange, the color of pumpkins. Or black, the color of the night.
Okay, so I would also usually choose emerald green, but I'm going to go with black, the color of the night, because we've been doing a lot of black colors in this house, and I'm really liking it.
Be true. Which Halloween song are you listening to? I Put a Spell on You. The Addams Family. Oh no.
Did I
It
have to do it to you?
restarted.
Isn't that weird?
And I didn't click on anything.
Oh, well, let me know if you need me to remind you of any answers. Curse you, BuzzFeed.
Costume party.
Celebrate with friends.
Celebrate with friends. Pumpkin carving. Historic. Black. Okay, which song are you listening to? Put a Spell on You, The Addams Family, Super Freak, Ghostbusters, Thriller, Monster Mash, or Somebody's Watching
I'm going to go with
Me.
Monster Mash. It's just such a classic.
Hell yeah. Which pop punk Halloween song are you adding to your playlist? Dead Walker, Texas Ranger, Sleeping with Sirens, It's Almost Halloween by Panic at the Disco, Vampires Will Never Hurt You, My Chemical Romance, Monster, Paramore, Black Cat, Mayday Parade, Forever Halloween, The Maine, or The Only Thing That Haunts This House Is Me by Fireworks.
I think I only vaguely know a few of these, so I'm gonna go with the band on this one, and I'm gonna go with My Chemical Romance since I'm so excited we're gonna see them pretty soon.
Fuck yes, we're also seeing Paramore, which I'm also
It's gonna
fucking
be
very
so
excited
fun. We're
for.
going to when we were young.
And pick a Halloween emoji. Lightning bolt, candle, ghost, bat, cross with bones, skeleton, whatever the fuck, owl, or witch.
Lightning bolt.
Winifred Sanderson.
Oh my god.
You share a personality with Winifred Sanderson, the oldest of the Sanderson sisters. You are cunning and intelligent, which often works to your advantage. However, when you're angry, you let the whole world know.
And I'm on roids, y'all, so watch out.
Incredible. Let me throw this back real quick.
Okay, I feel like that's fairly accurate.
Oh, shit. I'm
That's
so
all right.
sorry.
It's fine. I don't need it. Who needs it? Shay just threw my phone on the
That
ground.
made a giant thud. I'm so sorry.
Maybe she's the one on roids.
Dun, dun, dun. I do have She-Hulk strength.
She does.
Today, I broke like 4 colored pencils. Just simply in my hand. Like, not even drawing.
Is that when you were making me the card?
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait.
I made Stacy a get well soon card, which was really cute, and then I didn't bring it because that's who I am as a person.
And again, I'm not like sick.
No, I'm dramatic, and so when my wife is not feeling her best, I'm like,
My wife has weird skin lesions.
yeah, I'm like, I must make her a card that won't do anything, but at least it'll raise your spirits a little bit, hopefully.
That's right.
But regardless, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
What's your favorite Halloween movie? Please let us know by, I don't know, messaging us.
You can message us on IG at Blockbuster Wives. You can send us an email, blockbusterwives@gmail.com. You can go to our website, which is wordpress.blockbusters.com. There's a contact form that you can hit us up on. Oof, there's so many ways to get a hold of us. Yeah. Also, rate our podcast.
Yeah, please rate our podcast. We haven't really been talking about that too much, but
we should.
It'll help. We're trying to get more, not only content out to y'all, but we're planning on doing more trips. And we also want to do some live shows, which we did with our old podcast.
Which takes
we did
money.
But we need money. And also, if you're interested in sponsoring, we're interested in you, baby.
We got a Patreon you can sign up at.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit.
Okay, like whatever wets your whistle, you know? We got a version out for you. So we love you guys so much. Can't wait till the next episode. But until then, we adore you. We hope you have an amazing October, and let us know what your plans are.
And it's Croctober.
It is Croctober.
That's what Crocs is.
And it's Hollow Wives.
About it. Please, Crocs, sponsor us.
For the love of God. For the love of Croc. Anyway, we love you.
We love you so much. Happy Halloween.
Happy Hollow Wives.
That's
right.
Bye.
Thank you to our producer Brent for his editing skills and to Grady for our delightful theme song.
If you have questions for us or would like to advertise with us, please email us at blockbusterwives@gmail.com.
And as always, please rate, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us.
We love you.